It was a collapse waiting to happen. So, India have won the semi-final against Bangladesh by a convincing margin of 51 runs. And in the emerging Asia Cup final, it's going to be India versus Pakistan, Chapter 2. The stars of this match were India skipper Yashdul, 66. He stayed till the end, steadied the batting and ensured India got well past 200. And Bangladesh at 94 for 1 would have fancied them. They can chase it down. After all, batting did become easier. But fantastic bowling from Manav Sutar from Rajasthan, the left-arm orthodox spinner, and Nishant Sindhu, a CSK team member. 5 wickets. Squad member. He did play though a couple of games in 22 and 23. So 5 wickets for Nishant Sindhu, 3 for Manav Sutar. 51 runs, India A have managed to win, and Bangladesh doing Bangladesh things.
So I was going to ask, at that stage, firstly when India got 211, all out in 50th over, all out, 211 on most days should have been a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Considering Bangladesh had someone like a Soumya Sarkar in their batting lineup. But after that, what added on to their strong position was they were 94 for 1. 94 for 1. At 94 for 1, about 106 or
you needed 117 more runs in about 30 overs.
117 in 30 overs at 4 runs and over, 9 wickets in hand. And we were live doing the preview to the India-West Indies test match. And I said that this game Bangladesh cannot lose. And then I was reminded that this is Bangladesh, they can do it. I said even if we consider that this is Bangladesh, even by Bangladesh's standards, this seems like a cakewalk. I would like to stand corrected. I guess I don't know how to put it, underestimated Bangladesh's standard or overestimated Bangladesh's potential. I don't know.
Overestimated. This is the same
or
senior
underestimated
team.
What Bangladesh can do.
Actually, exactly.
This is the same senior team. I mean, if you look at, forget the emerging. I mean, Soumya Sarkar is hardly an emerging player in the Bangladesh lineup. And if you focus on just his dismissal alone, making room, trying to dictate the terms to the opposition, why? Get them in singles and twos. Short selection of the Bangladeshi players. In the quest for being aggressive, they forgot the basics. Mushfiqur Rahim, 2016, 2 fours. Premature celebration. What happened? 2 runs, couldn't he have just got it through singles?
Nagin dance.
Nagin dance. That's why. Why did Sri Lanka and the entire of the Premadasa in that India-Bangladesh Nidahas Trophy final, why were they vehemently cheering for India? Because Shakib Al Hasan anyway has a loose,
He's a loose cannon.
Loose cannon.
Let's be fair.
Call the players off because that was legitimately not a wide. I mean, if you have to look at it. A 6 was it.
But this time it wasn't Bangladesh that were the more aggressive team. By the way, if you missed out on this game, guys, you missed a very good game. We kept a close watch on that because it was the semi-final of the emerging Asia Cup, India versus Bangladesh. And it's turned out to be the best game of the tournament so far. That India-Pakistan that was really built. I think at the end of the day was an anti-climax sort of a match. Didn't really live up to that billing. One-sided game. India won very easily. But this was a close game, and sometimes low-scoring encounters are more thrilling than those big 6-hitting games. At least I enjoy them. This is a low-scoring encounter, and for India to have defended 211, despite them, getting 100 plus with losing just 1 wicket, cruising from there. So great game, and I think somewhere justice is done because, India were looking like the best team. They had even beaten Pakistan. Pakistan had beaten Sri Lanka to reach the final. It would have been some sort of injustice for India not to have made the final considering they're the best team. By the way, jokes were already doing the rounds of social media. Even in our comment section, when we were talking about India-West Indies and discussing this, we were saying, same semi-final, Indian team, doesn't matter where they play, they're going to lose. Hey, they made it to the final.
I mean, you look at it, the emerging and the age group teams, the senior team can actually take a leaf out of their book. I mean, look at India's under 19.
Senior guys have been age group players now sometime.
Yeah. What happens
so they need to take a leaf out of themselves.
Yeah. Go back to those under 19 days. I mean, you lost in 2016, the final. But in between, you won 2008, you won 2012, you won 18, you won 2022. You also lost in 2020 in the final.
To Bangladesh, wasn't it?
Yeah. The same guy who was holding the key, Akbar Ali, he was the captain of the Bangladesh side that beat them in, I think it was Potchefstroom, if I'm not, Potchefstroom or Benoni. I don't remember the venue. So, Bangladesh, credit to them. But remember how they came in.
What credit, yeah.
What credit?
This match.
No. The league
Losing by
stages.
51 runs.
You know the league stages, all three teams tied on 4 points. They somehow got through because of a superior net run rate. So Bangladesh actually punched above their weight. They were not expected to make it. The Afghanistan team was much more
But
talented.
having said that, to be in the kind of position they were in, you'd think they'd be walking home from there. You can't. It's like I remember. So this is a few years back when Tottenham were playing the Champions League. They were up against Juventus in one of the knockouts. First leg they're leading, yet no one is confident that Tottenham are going through. Sure enough, Juventus stage a comeback in the second round, and Giorgio Chiellini, very straight-talking man, said one line which has gone down in infamy ever since. It is in the history of Tottenham. Same thing here. It is in the history of Bangladesh.
After 2016, sorry. No way can you believe that any chase that Bangladesh does is a cakewalk.
Not just chase, even a defense. I'm sorry. Nidahas Trophy we keep talking about, but they needed to defend 5 runs of the last ball.
Yep.
5 runs. How do you bowl a slot ball when you're defending 5 runs? Bowl it short, bowl it anything.
Again, look at who was bowling. The guy who had the least experience in the death was Soumya Sarkar.
So actually, Soumya Sarkar is the mitigating factor, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he bowled 5 good balls though, by the way.
He did.
But the last one, come on, DK was in that zone at that time.
No, it didn't matter if you give him a short ball, if you give him a harder length ball, he might not have been able to play that shot in the slot. In
The
his arc,
most
he's hitting it out.
damning indictment was they couldn't defend 34 of 12. 22 runs were hit of Rubel Hossain, and it was DK who started that onslaught. And by the way, Rubel was the best bowler that day.
Yeah, Rubel Hossain was at that point very underrated. He's kind of petered off since.
He troubled Virat Kohli so much.
Badly.
Just gonna take a few comments. Sport fan says, what an epic choke by Bangladesh. Absolutely agree with you. Even by Bangladesh's standard, I never thought that they would, especially in the position that they were. But you're absolutely right. They have seemed to have outdone themselves. Avinash Mudliar is saying, what an intense match. Wow, it was really an intense match. Sport fan points out, Yashdul knock of 66 made a huge difference. That's right, in a low scoring game. But this comment, just go up a bit, Anurag, by Aditya Kalvekar. He says, with the likes of Mehndi Hassan and Soumya Sarkar chasing a low total, this is a big win for India. Just to point that out, Aditya, I also made that mistake. Soumya Sarkar is the Soumya Sarkar, but this Mehndi Hassan is not that Mehndi Hassan Miraz.
That's Mehdi Hassan Miraz. This is a different Mehdi Hassan.
Not Mehdi. No.
Yeah. It's Mehdi Hassan.
Mehdi,
yeah, that is Mehdi, that Mehidi.
Mehdi Hassan Miraz.
Yep. So, the other big name, Aditya, if you want to point out, was Akbar Ali. One of the stars in the young setup of the Bangladesh team and touted as one of the stars. But after the 2020 Under-19 World Cup, I'm sorry, Akbar Ali is just faded. Didn't do well in the Bangladesh Premier League, also struggled. Even far away from national selection.
He struggled in the BPL.
Yeah.
Nobody struggles there.
Exactly.
Enough said.
Nishant Sindhu was very good. In fact, he was good in that Pakistan game as well, but he was in the shadows of the other left-arm, Manav Sutar. He was the one who took a lot more wickets.
3 wickets.
This time it was Nishant who's picked up a fifer.
Yes.
He's picked up a fifer. Angarekar also picked up a fifer in the Pakistan game.
Yes, 5 for 42.
This time also amongst the wickets. So imagine, and I think this is what is showing India's bench strength. Most teams are playing players that have played for the international team and come here. As we had discussed earlier, maybe we can spend some time discussing that. This is clearly not India's top team, you know that.
Yeah.
It's clearly not India's B team either.
Nor even a C team.
In fact, that's what I said. If you were to put a mind to it, this may not be India's C team either.
Yeah.
It's a D or an E team at best.
It's
because
a
none
D
of these guys have played international cricket. That's enough said. That's proper emerging. Not emerged who are being categorized.
These are guys who are not regular in their IPL teams. If I was to make a team, pretty much B team would be also the people on the fringes. C would be a team of guys who are doing really well at
Domestic or IPL level.
the IPL level. And I think the C level team is the kind of team that you see for the Asian Games.
Yeah.
I think that's a C-ish kind of a team. A and B will be in the mix. They've not even made. C is the kind of team that India picked for Asian Games, and this is kind of a D team that India has put, and also reaching the.
I mean, you look at the 4 semi-finalists in this emerging Asia Cup,
Oh, he's a goner.
and it's
Virat
Virat.
out. Virat run out.
That's a rare thing. Virat getting
By the way,
run
just
out.
yesterday he was
Telling-
he was teasing the
Nikhil
saying,
pointed out, yeah.
No, he was caught on stump mic. He said stealing 2 since 2012.
No, because I remember the keeper was at him and he told him that don't worry about my twos.
Stealing 2
I
since
do
2012.
that, yeah.
So out for 121.
But there was also another conversation that I picked up on the stump mic for this running. There was one time where I think Jadeja made him run a quick.
Yeah,
It was risky. You
हाँ,
pointed that
he said,
out.
He said something. ये risky था ये थोड़ा risky. जडेजा ये ठीक था.
So
This
I'm,
was definitely
I'm just saying, look at the 4 teams in the semi-finals.
Virat out.
1-2-1. Run out by Alzari Joseph.
I mean the way he was batting seemed like run out was the only option.
I
You're
know.
getting him. Yeah.
Yeah, total discipline.
Now who? Ishan Kishan.
Yes. Yeah, you are
In
not-
fact, interesting, a few overs of play because I'd love to see Ishan Kishan. They've got the new ball
Yeah.
with some genuine pace.
You got
directed at him.
40 minutes for the lunch break.
And I think a rarity. I think now you have 2 left-handers batting for the Indian team in a Test match. No, the last time that happened. I don't know
Akshar
why.
and Jadeja may have batted.
No,
Jadeja,
Rishabh
I
Pant,
forget.
Birmingham.
Pant also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So what I was saying is in this emerging Asia Cup, look at the 4 teams. Sri Lanka had 3 guys who have played international cricket. There was Avishka Fernando, there was Pramod Madhushan. So I'm not remembering one more name. In Pakistan, Shahnawaz Dahani, Mohammad Wasim Jr.
We know both of them.
Bangladesh,
Samya
Soumya
Sarkar.
Sarkar. So India is the only team that has not had international senior level exposure. All of the guys. I mean, you look at them. Nishant Sindhu and Rajvardhan Angarkar don't even start for CSK on a regular basis.
Harshat Rana was a 4th choice pacer. for
Yash
KKR.
Dul
Barely played
played a
for-
couple of games, but was not a success for Delhi Capitals. The Yuvraj Singh Dhondia from Jamnagar doesn't play in the IPL. Not yet
Manav,
picked.
Manav
Manav
Suttar.
Suttar from Rajasthan doesn't play. Then only the big names, if you look at Riyan Parag, obviously everybody, and today Riyan Parag was getting under the skin of the Bangladeshi batters at that time. He was
But
like,
he's-
what is he?
He is that kind of a character.
Yeah, mocking them totally. I mean, what shot he's playing, and he's telling me off. That is the thing he was saying. And by the way, there
all
was
he had to do was do a bihu dance to go with it.
But it was an intense match in the sense there was a bit of an argy-bargy happening.
There's
when
India
Soumya
Bangladesh
Sarkar got
always
out.
have
When
that.
Soumya Sarkar got out,
Ah.
the likes of Harshit and Nishant Sindhu are going after him.
Yeah.
So,
In fact, even Nikunj, the guy who took the catch, was very pumped up. A good catch.
oh yes, Aka Chamika Karunaratne. He's there in the Sri Lanka emerging. He was there. That's not D. It's
That's not the game, right? Dimuth?
Dimut, no.
way.
Chamika Karunaratne.
This is the same guy who played for
KKR.
LS?
KKR,
okay,
one
yeah,
season,
right, one
but
season.
only one game he played. So,
Akash Bhargava saying in this emerging team, what has happened to Raj Angad Bawa? He's not fit, is it?
I have no
I
idea.
think he's not fit.
I have to
Yeah.
check up on those news. So that is why.
He's saying Ibrahim Zadran, Afghanistan played.
Yeah.
Ibrahim
Uncle.
Zadran. That Ibrahim Zadran.
That Ibrahim Zadran,
Uncle.
yes.
He
Exactly.
said Uncle Ibrahim Zadran.
Emerging.
Yeah.
He's written also in the comment. Please go to the comment. Please.
Yeah.
Because I think his nephew is.
Aditya Kaflekar is saying.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Ibrahim Zadran's
Uncle. Correct. I'm forgetting his name. There is a Zadran.
Ah,
In fact,
there
Noor
are
Ali Zadran.
5-6 Zadrans.
See, I know Shapur Zadran, there is Noor Ali
No, I'll tell
Zadran,
you
and
his
there is
name.
Ibrahim
Hold on.
Zadran. So that is why only side who's not had any kind of international exposure, and that is why the bench strength is staggering. But again, when are they going to get that exposure? Because after 4 or 5 years, they may well be past their best also, looking at the way how it is. Noor Ali Zadran.
He's 35 years old. Emerging? From where?
Exactly. And wait, go down. Ikram Alikhil, he also was an international. He was there in the World Cup squad, if I'm not mistaken.
He's played a test match,
and 12 ODIs.
Jesus.
Ikram Alikhil, he was there in the 2019 World Cup. And go down.
That
even-
is a full-on family wrestling because Ibrahim Zadran, Noor is his uncle and Mujib is his cousin.
Cousin.
Mujib was-
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mujibur Rahman.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
it. Only Ikram Ali Khil and Noor Ali Sadran. That's it. Because oh wait, I think Bahir Shah's also played international, if I'm not mistaken. Bahir
This
Shah.
I'm not sure of.
No, sorry.
And he's actually 24.
He is 24. 24. Oof.
Okay, let's take a few comments.
Yeah, so it's going to be India versus Pakistan, Chapter 2.
Sports fan actually says, still remember VK missed an away century after mix-up with Rahane in that epic Australia tour of 21. That's true.
74, Adelaide.
Yeah.
In fact, after that, I think Rahane took some
Yeah.
extra responsibility on himself.
Yeah,
He got the ultimate redemption, gave them the series win.
Yeah, he did.
Rahane mentioned at the time that he went back and they had a conversation.
Yeah. I mean, Kohli, Adelaide, what a love affair that is.
Yeah. Ankar Biswas is saying in India there is no dearth of talented cricketers, but we want to stick with tried and tested. That's the main issue. But also, suddenly they are winning an emerging cup. You can't bring them and remove some of those players.
I mean,
they
look,
are good enough to be there. And these are the guys who are playing IPL and doing well. These guys not making the IPL teams also tells you there's a bit of a gulf. Just that this tournament doesn't have that quality. But it's heartening to see these young kids do well against teams that are playing international players. Just tells you the bench strength.
Yep. So that's the thing. I mean, these guys don't even make it regularly on the IPL 11s also.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that is why this performance is very, very commendable in that way. And very impressed again with Yash Dul. Whenever there is a slow, low deck, this guy somehow.
He's a Delhiite, right?
Yeah, but
Makes a lot of sense.
in the 2022 Under-19 World Cup, it was Dhul who did really well in those slow, low decks at
That's my
North
point.
Sound.
Delhi, you have to remember what
Yeah.
that domestic thing is like. Why is it any batsman worth his salt, if he's played regularly in Delhi, knows how to play spin well?
Yeah.
Gambhir, what was his secret behind playing
Nitish
spin so well?
Rana.
Nitish Rana now has shades of Gambhir in terms of some of the
Yeah.
strokes he plays. Same
Viru.
reason. Viru, another one, what he would eat spinners for breakfast, that man.
Maybe, I mean, because of the high standards, I said Kohli kind of struggled.
But then
again.
Kohli, because he's not played as much domestic, past 10-12 years, he was mostly playing international cricket on very different pitches. He was also not someone who struggled against spin early on. It's a very recent thing.
Yeah, it is.
Especially off spin of all things. God.
But India has struggled. Tendulkar struggled big time against off spin.
No, Tendulkar struggled against even part-timers. Any part-timers.
Hansi Cronje.
But he played spin really well.
No, he played spin really well. This
He
is
would
the man
murder
who gave
leg
Shane
spin.
Warne nightmares.
Absolutely murder leg spin.
He
But
gave
again,
Shane Warne nightmares.
yeah, off spin, I don't know what happened. I mean, Saklane troubled
No,
him
but
so
those
much.
Saklane
those
Dusra.
off spinners were different
Yeah.
level. Yeah, Saklane and Murli were.
Again, and that Dusra, for off-spinners, it's very rare that you have a Dusra that lethal.
Yeah. Saeed Ajmal got him 2 out of 2. Whenever Tendulkar and Pakistan clashed in the fag end of
Monty with his left arm spin.
Oh, he would struggle his left arm. Yes.
Also, because again, see, what is it with left arm? You have that one arm ball variation
Arm ball,
which can
yeah.
actually do even.
Yeah. So that's why it's.
Chalo, that was a great game. Yeah, very exciting game. Far more exciting than the Test match.
Yeah.
Now that Virat is out, I think the question there will be now: what does India do from here on? Because now it seems like 450.
They will
minimum.
bat. They will bat out. They will ensure
No,
that
I'm saying they could be all out. But even if you are, your 450,
450
is
plus.
almost done. Ashes, another one we're keeping our track on. Australia lost 1 wicket.
Usman
so
Khawaja.
it's going to be exciting there. Plenty of cricket still happening.
Yep.
Including this one, the game that we've
And
seen.
tomorrow it's going to be the final ODI of the India versus Bangladesh women's series also. 1-1
series on the
tied.
line.
Yeah, imagine the series is on the line. Yep.
Chalo, on that note, we're taking a leave, but we're going to be back now another 10 minutes with the
The 9:30.
9:30. So half
35
an hour,
minutes,
half an
yeah.
hour.
Half an hour, we'll be back. Yep.
We'll be back. We'll try and answer all your questions then when it'll be lunchtime
Yeah.
in Port of Spain. See you then.
Yeah.
Take care.
Next,
Bye
I'll
bye.
remember that comment if you can ask. Yes. Why New Zealand have not won a test series in South Africa anywhere? Yeah, it's true.
Never.
They have never won against South Africa a test series.
Does South Africa not come to New Zealand?
Of course.
Okay.
But they've never won.
Jeez.
Yeah.